I'm Chris Alexander.
And I'm Paulo Sierra, and this is the premiere episode of Season 3 of Spoke TV.
Your source for local and weekly news produced by second-year journalism broadcast students from Conestoga College.
In February, the Waterloo Regional Airport made official a plan for a multi-million-dollar expansion. 6 months later, passengers haven't seen any changes, even though the airport has seen a significant increase in travelers. Erin Anderson, the Spoke TV reporter, examines the expansion status.
Fasten your seatbelts because the Region of Waterloo International Airport is really taking off. The airport recorded over 14,000 passengers coming through its gates in August, making it the busiest month in the airport's history. Airline services like Nolanor, WestJet, and American Airlines all saw increases in passenger traffic at the region's airport. The airport announced earlier this year that they had plans for a multi-million-dollar expansion. It hopes to see growth for the region and improve the condition of their terminals and runways. Chris Wood, the general manager of the Waterloo Airport, explains why the region put the brakes on the expansion.
I think our marching orders from Regional Council now is to use the capacity that we have before we talk about expansion in the future.
According to airport officials, passenger traffic has increased by 8.3% since last year. So what does that mean for the future plans of expanding the Waterloo International Airport? The airport is generating more awareness that is ultimately translating into more passengers. Waterloo Regional Councillor Sean Strickland sat on the project team for the airport master plan and explains how in the future an expansion would benefit the region.
I think it's a good asset from a transportation perspective. Also, we have a lot of land at the airport that we plan to develop for industrial and light industrial use, and if we do that appropriately, that will mean more jobs.
The future of KW's air traffic may not be set in stone, but the verdict from those involved is that the airport is expected to soar. For Spoke TV, I'm Erin Anderson.
2 out of 5 Canadians are expected to develop cancer at some point in their lifetimes. Cambridge City Hall hosted an event this past weekend to raise money for the cause.
The Waterloo Regional Police hosted their annual Cops for Cancer charity event this weekend in partnership with the Canadian Cancer Society. The event is expected to raise close to $30,000 this year, an increase of roughly $22,000 over last year's event. 20 people, both officers and non-officers, participate in getting their heads shaved for cancer research. Food was also offered, as well as a silent auction on a number of high-value items. The Canadian Cancer Society has held Cops for Cancer annually since 1994 and has raised over $5.5 million.
The YWCA is opening a new homeless shelter. It comes after 4 churches dropped out of the Cold program that was designated to keep homeless off the streets. The Spoke TV reporter Amanda Dim was on location to show us the new place and give us more information about this project.
Homelessness becomes a huge problem in the region during this season, and it's time to strip the streets. Out of the Cold was a program that responded to our city's poor and helpless with shelter, food, and compassion. YWCA has stepped in to help continue this program due to lack of venues. Various churches withdrew from the program due to the complex mental health and addiction issues from the users. Elizabeth Clark, YWCA president, speaks about what they are doing to help the homeless.
We have a multi-purpose room that looks kind of like a gym. So what we're trying to do is create a space that feels a lot like what they're used to and what they like, and use that to gradually introduce people into the formal system.
The consequences of homelessness tends to be more severe when coupled with mental illness. People with mental illnesses remain homeless for longer periods of time and have less contact with family and friends. They encounter barriers in employment and have poorer health than other homeless people.
Drew Corniker, a friend to someone who struggled through homelessness and drug abuse, gave her input on what she feels would be the best support for homeless youth.
Basically, if you just find someone and you really connect with them, because through helping at the homeless shelters and the kitchens and everything, it's really when you sit down and you talk to the people while you're having dinner and you learn about their experiences and you talk to them and really connect with them, that's what really helps, is to help their self-esteem and everything.
Housing with support can generate positive outcomes, including enhanced life skills, improved health status, an increased sense of empowerment and involvement in the community. For Spoke TV, I'm Amanda Din.
Downtown Kitchener is getting another community resource, as the Working Center is expanding its capacity to offer its help to more people. Spoke TV's Jeff Pickle investigates the benefits of this new space and what it will provide to those in need in our community.
When a life falls through the cracks or becomes disjointed, the downtown core is often where people end up. But once here, where does a person turn to put the pieces back together? Located in the heart of downtown Kitchener, near Queen and Charles Street, the Working Center is a multifaceted hub of community resources. The Queen Street location helps over 3,000 people a year with issues like unemployment, affordable housing, and access to technology.
With all the programming going on inside, as you can imagine, things are getting pretty busy in here.
This is why the Working Center co-founder, Joe Mancini, is happy to be opening more doors in the downtown area on King Street.
So some of these kind of more entrepreneurial efforts, we could see kind of hiving off out of this space and putting it on King Street in this new space.
One of the several programs which will be making the move to King Street is a youth entrepreneurial program directed by Emmy Rappaport.
It is just a project for basically young adults from 20 to 29 years old that have a business idea and they need some help basically materializing that idea and hopefully, coming out with some sort of product or service.
The new location will also include 7 transitional housing units to provide a safe place to live for people in need. All a part of the Working Center's goal to provide the tools people need to put their lives back together. For Spoke TV News, I'm Jeff Pickle.
Citizens and visitors in the Waterloo region are gearing up for the biggest Bavarian festival outside of Germany, Oktoberfest. Most visitors will wear traditional German clothing, and with just 3 days away from the celebration, we take a look at some of the classic Oktoberfest looks. To experience this celebration as a true Bavarian would, the Oktoberfest official retail store has given Spoke TV some tips. Bavarian clothing for men would start with the lederhosen, which are the shorts with suspenders, button-down shirt, and knee sock. Hats are optional. The most traditional ones always sport a feather on top. And for the woman, the traditional outfit is called the dirndl. It includes the dress, the vest, the blouse, and the optional apron.
College enrollment is down all across Ontario, but not at one college. Spoke TV's Devin Flynn shows us why one Canadian college continues to grow and how it manages to do so.
For the first time in 15 years, fewer high school graduates have enrolled in the post-secondary education system. Across the province, enrollment rates have dropped 4.2% this year. One school in the region has been able to keep a positive enrollment rate, that school being KW's own Conestoga College. Vice President of Enrollment Management and International Education shared with us how Conestoga has been able to keep their rates up.
Enrollment rates have increased here. It's really quite simple. It's because I think we've developed a reputation for high quality programs that lead to rewarding jobs.
1,000 fewer students are entering the post-secondary education system this year due to a demographic drop. Conestoga College remains unscathed. Why, you ask? Because the Polytechnical Institute offers a wider amount of programs and implements new ones where needed.
President John Tibbetts of Conestoga College explained what the college is doing differently to benefit their students.
I felt, in fact, by offering more programs, we'd offer more opportunities to our students, because in the old days, it was very hard for students from Conestoga to get credit, university credit, for what they did. So by building our own degrees, in fact, we help students get pathways.
The degree programs at Conestoga College have been flourishing as of late, with a 28% increase this year. For Spoke TV, I'm Devin Flynn.
There are now 2 more confirmed cases of the Enterovirus D68 in the Waterloo region. The virus is within the same family as polio and echoviruses. It causes respiratory illnesses, difficulties breathing, rashes, and possibly paralysis. While there is no vaccine, many people may not know that they have the virus because they are staying at home and not seeking medical attention. The virus mainly causes complications for children and people with existing respiratory problems. Public Health advises Waterloo residents to practice the same measures one would use to prevent the flu. Practice regular hygiene and to seek medical attention if one develops high fever or difficult breathing.
People giving blood in Canada is at a 6-year low and is reaching a critical stage. Spoke TV's Anthony Cecilia finds out just how important it is for people to give blood.
The Canadian Blood Services are in the red for all the wrong reasons. The organization is calling upon the nation to roll up their sleeves and give the red stuff. It was recently announced that clinics around the country are seeing a decline in blood donors. officials are saying there are a number of issues leading to the decline. Blood donors currently are not keeping their appointments because of this occurrence happening.
3.
Canada's blood shortage is at a critical stage, with the country only possessing enough blood for 3 days, its lowest in 6 years. Longtime blood donor Francesca Pedler explains why giving blood is so important.
I think it's a real necessity because we all have it in us, and it can save anyone's life, and we never know when it's going to be someone we know that needs saving.
That's the way the blood flows, and now everybody knows. For Spoke TV, I'm Anthony Cecilia.
And now we go to Josh Horsley for sports and entertainment.
Thanks, Paula. Tired of paying for all your music downloads but don't want to pirate your music illegally? Well, a new solution is here.
Spotify has officially come to Canada. The music streaming service made popular the idea of granting internet users legal access to a huge collection of music to stream without having to buy songs or albums. Users can pay a monthly fee for a premium all-access account or sign up for a limited ad-supported service for free. Spotify says it's the largest on-demand music streaming service, with 40 million active users. They may have a tough time in Canada, however, because there are a number of competitors like Radio, Songza, and Google Play Music offering virtually the same service.
Want to find a new hobby that takes you outdoors? Spoke TV reporter Kate Leahy will show you an extreme scavenger hunt that can follow you around the world.
Scavenger hunting isn't just for the young kids, but also for the adventurer, the thrill seeker, and the young at heart. Geocaching is catching the attention of people all over the world. Geocaching is an outdoor activity where participants will use their GPS or mobile device to navigate areas to find geocaches. They come in different forms and sizes. A typical geocache will be in a waterproof container with a logbook for you to sign your name and date. Some geocaches contain trinkets and artifacts, but don't forget that if you take an item, you must leave an item. We spoke to a fellow geocacher, Steve Allen, who has found over 200 geocaches and has hidden quite a few also.
So let's go out this old road, back road, in between here and Stratford, and we'll find some country trail, and we'll walk along it, and I'm sure there's some there. And there are, because geocaches, there's millions hidden all over the world. Within the region here, there's thousands and thousands. So we'll find 5 or 6 in a day, and then we won't find any again for another week or so.
You can download a free beginner's geocache app that allows you to see what geocaches are near you. The app will navigate you to the spot and even give you tips. We spoke to Jen Machado, a local geocacher, about her experiences.
Coolest thing I have found personally is dog tags from a soldier from World War II, and that was in the Niagara Falls region.
So grab your phone, your pen, and your adventurous side, and try your hand at geocaching. For Spoke TV, I'm Kate Leahy.
You might think that the only place to witness pile drivers and suplexes would be on TV, but reporter Long Nguyen shows us that these wrestling moves can hit a lot closer to home.
This is definitely not the wrestling you see on television, but to the wrestlers and the fans of the Pure Wrestling Association, they seem to prefer it this way. As the sun sets on a warm fall evening, fans came out in numbers to the Alpen Klub in Kitchener to take in some local independent wrestling. At small independent wrestling events, the fans are more than spectators. They become part of the action.
And there's the cliche, without them, there's no me, but it's true. And, you know, if they're having fun, I'm going to have fun, and vice versa. And the intimacy of these small buildings is incredible.
As the action behind me picks up, the crowd gets louder and louder and louder as they enjoy a sample of local wrestling at its finest.
The wrestling provided plenty of action, and to bad guy Mr. Jimmy King, it provides an escape for fans and wrestlers alike.
You could be having a bad day, a rough life, whatever, but for those 10, 15, 20 minutes, all that goes away, and you're just focused in this, you know, other reality.
Whether you want to cheer for the good guys or boo the bad guys, you can expect plenty of interaction with the wrestlers, even if you're an unwitting TV crew.
This is terrible. Why am I even on here doing this? I don't know. I've got to go. I'm a busy man. Thank you for nothing.
For Spoke TV, I'm Long Nguyen.
October is here with a chill in the air and falling leaves. But there are still a few things to look forward to when fall rolls around. Danielle St. Cyr gives us a look at a local attraction that the Kitchener-Waterloo area has to offer.
Halloween is approaching, and that means so are the festivities. From corn mazes to a pumpkin launcher, Nauman's Corn Maze has it all. This maze is located in St. Clements, Ontario. Admission is $5 from Monday to Friday and $6 on weekends.
Each year, a new maze is designed by their daughter Christina to keep the challenge to families fresh. The maze is over 10 acres long, which means visitors will be kept busy.
My name is Nauman, and my wife's name is Ann, and we both own this farm. It used to be my parents' farm. We took over in 1999.
I think 5,000 pumpkins on display at one time is probably the biggest thing. And our corn maze is becoming really, really popular.
Families are invited to try the slingshot at the pumpkin launcher, which is only available on weekends.
Pumpkin squash and the corn maze and the fun area and the pumpkin launching and all that takes over. In between, we're at St. Jacob's Market, so.
Nauman's corn maze attracts people of all ages who come for many different reasons, whether it be to buy fresh products from the store or even to pick out some pumpkins. It's not just young children who enjoy what Nauman's has to offer.
It's a lot of fun. We went in the maze. We got lost. It took us probably over half an hour to get out, but it was a lot of fun.
For Spoke TV, I'm Danielle St. Cyr.
That's all we have for you this week. For Spoke TV from Conestoga College, I'm Chris Alexander.
And I'm Paula Sierra. For more news and information, visit spoketv.ca.